Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
Well, let's get a little bit onto your business a little bit more here. So as you continue to grow your business, of course, now you have 3 or 4 different offerings that you're offering your clients. How are you going to handle the upcoming growth when it's just currently just you two?
Well, I'm hoping that the hiring pool gets a little better.
Yeah,
We
that'd be nice.
have had that conversation personally,
Yeah,
and I mean, we're just gonna have to work through it and grind it out and put training into the right people, and we're putting the players in place right now, and we'll just continue to keep doing that. We have a shop opening up in Idaho Falls as well. And that's going to kind of be the home base for like all of our operations now. So it kind of gives us the ability. Now we have a shop. We actually have a building for our staff to go to and do that kind of stuff and do training. And we'll just it's part of being a business owner. That's the uncomfortable part of it too, is you're putting your baby in somebody else's hands and hoping that they do a good job with it.
Exactly.
With
this hiring,
go
ahead. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think we're just going to kind of take things as they come in. So obviously we're opening the shop, and that's going to become the new primary focus. So I came on with Dustin, and the primary focus was getting me trained and able to work independently. And so now that we've accomplished that feat, we can work independently, and he's going to run automotive while I can run flat glass, and then we'll team up as necessary. And then he's going to focus on finding the right person to kind of help us build his dream shop, where we can offer exemplary service to our customers. And once that's up and running under the right person, with the right person, he can take on more with the security. And since we are so privileged to work with Defense Light as a whole, they have a lot of install teams as well. So if we were ever put in the situation where it's like, wow, this is a big project, we have the ability to still fulfill what customers need.
Yeah, we're blessed with the fact, like I was even in Albuquerque, New Mexico a couple of weeks ago, bidding a building for a client that lives here. We're blessed with the fact that Defense Light's actually like made a nationwide footprint to where we can actually like dispatch installation teams to different parts of the country if need be. So that's kind of one way we're going to do.
I like it. So you have a shop in Idaho Falls that's going to be your automotive shop, right? For tinting and all that film stuff. Okay. So all you Idaho Falls listeners, these guys are all over Idaho, but these they do now have a footprint in Idaho Falls as well. So, and one thing I'll say about the hiring and the lack of hiring right now in our state and throughout the country, I think you can either look at it as, because I've been in them. I've been in the phases of like, gosh, this is horrible for me,
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, and, I was thinking, well, what an opportunity if you can crack this code and figure out, as you get creative and figure out how to hire in this environment where other people can't hire and fold up shop, which is unfortunate, but you could maybe expand your reach where other people can't. So it's all about being creative.
It speaks volumes, man. Like we have stuff on Indeed, and we've been getting applications, and it almost like helps you in a way, because the reality is there's people collecting unemployment that are able bodies and can go get jobs. They just don't want to. So we're holding on to that list of applicants because those were the guys that were applying for jobs when they didn't need to.
Yeah.
And
it's
those
tough
are,
at the same time. I would imagine
yeah.
you're thinking that you're getting paid more to stay home than to work your job. It's a tough situation all around, I think, so.
Yeah. I
But
can't.
I think that some people though, they want long-term benefit, right? They want to belong to
Sure.
something. They don't want to sit at
course.
home. And so I think because that's what we're trying to offer somebody is ownership into our own business. Like we want to bring them into
Sure.
our own family and have them
Profit
be a part of
sharing.
something that they can actually own one day and operate. And so, I think that attracts a lot of people.
For the right.
Go ahead, Dustin.
For the right person. And I mean, that comes from when I first started in this industry, I worked for a company called JM Family Enterprises in Florida. And I worked for one of their branches called Southeast Toyota Distributors. If I encourage any business owner, if you're looking for a business model where you're going to get quality employees and quality people and long-term and longevity out of your employees, look up Jim Moran and JM Family Enterprises. Their business model is impressive, man. I was just talking to the guy that I trained window film with yesterday, Brian. I mean, they take such good care of their employees between profit sharing, 401k, all of that. And these guys, they have employees that have been there over 45 years.
Sure.
I mean,
And I'm sure it's more than just the money. People don't stay just for money. Their values and everything else have got to be on point for sure.
Yeah, and they're all about core values, accountability, all that stuff. And they just know how to do it and efficiency, man. They are the most efficient people in the industry. And that's kind of where I got a lot of my standards and qualities and core values from. And I've never ever been able to find or see anybody like them. So I always encourage people to look that up if you're a business owner.
That's interesting. Well, cool. Let's get into the lightning round here, and we're going to close this thing up. And the lightning round is sponsored by Sensations Med Spa. They do the tanning. So Dustin, if you need to get your nice tan on, I know you're going to be on your boat here soon. Get your mani-pedi.
Look at this.
Yeah. But don't do that. You're going to destroy the cameras. It's too white over here. Anyways, they do a fantastic job with the real tanning beds and everything else, massages. Give them a call. They're located in Pocatello and Twin Falls, 237-7866. And here soon, we're going to have a promo, if you mention the podcast, to get some pretty good deals there too. So, all right, I'm going to start with Jessica on this one.
All
Go
right.
for it.
Since Dustin's been doing most of the talking, so let's hear from this one. All right, Jessica, do you have a favorite, like maybe the best book or a tool or favorite maybe piece of software you've used in the last few months that you think has been beneficial to you?
Well, as a
book, tool, or software.
Tool or software or a book.
Or book, yeah.
Honestly, I think the thing that's been most beneficial to me over a couple years, really, because it's opened my mind, I guess, in many different ways, especially in accordance with business and self-development, would just be the Jocko podcast. I really like the book Extreme Ownership. And
awesome.
He's come out with several books now that have great material in them for people that just kind of need a kick in the pants or just need some guidance, because sometimes it's really hard to find the right mentors in life for business or personal or whatever. And these guys do this successfully. So Jocko is the head of Echelon Front, and his company actually goes in and helps people basically figure out the nooks and crannies of their business and helps them turn it into a well-oiled machine. And then he shares that knowledge down onto everybody else. He's an ex-Navy SEAL, so he applies a lot of what he learned in the military to business and makes it basically digestible for citizens.
Very cool. Very cool.
Fun.
Well, that's the first time I've heard that podcast mentioned. That's great. And I actually in the middle of the extreme ownership right now. So book.
Okay.
Okay, Dustin, what's one of the biggest myth business owners need to know the truth about? Just in general.
It ain't easy. Oh, it is. It's me and you have had this conversation too before. I'm blessed to have you as a friend and somewhat of a mentor. So I want you to know that. Thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love having conversations with you about this stuff. It's just not easy. You really there's a lot of grit involved. And I think a lot of people, I had a conversation yesterday and it was, well, I can't start a business because I have no money. And you had a ton of money when you started yours. I took out a $15,000 personal loan with a 15% interest rate to start this company. And I worked out of a 5x8 trailer and pulled it with a Hyundai Santa Fe for 2 years. Don't tell me it was easy. It wasn't easy. I lost a ton of sleep. It's one of the biggest risks you'll ever take in your life. One of the biggest gambles, but it's completely worth it if you can make it work. But
exactly,
it's a lot more than just putting a phone number on Google and expecting people to call you.
Yeah,
it's right. A lot of grit and determination.
Yep. Scott Webb and I discussed this too. That's the fun part of owning a business is putting up your website, designing your logo. That's the fun stuff everyone sees. But and yeah, it's tough. But then there's also times of just great reward. You know, not just money, but just like seeing things fall into place and seeing things starting to move smoothly. And but then there are those days. I was just literally on a walk last night with my wife, thinking just telling her like there's just days that it literally seems like everything just falls at my door, and I'm just like, okay, it's a juggling act. You know, I've got to delegate this over here. I've got to take this on to me. I do this, but then I have to learn. I do all I can do. And then you go home and enjoy your kids and your family and leave that work at the door, you know? So that's the big thing as a business owner. You got to learn to leave the work at the door and enjoy your family at the end of the night. So
100%.
Perfect. Jessica, is there one question I should have asked that I did not?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we covered a lot of ground and material. I guess one thing that I always think about, just because I'm definitely going to ask this question when I start taking my daughter to schools, but as a parent, I'm going to start asking schools, what's your security protocols and what's your plan? Yeah. Just because since we've gotten into the security side of things, we've researched like teachers groups or parent teacher groups or whatever. They're really hard to find. I'm not sure if there's much interaction going on there, if people are just, you know, taking the school for what it is, like, oh, well, they have cameras. So I guess I would say, I just hope this really opens up conversations for people so that they can make sure they're getting the best for their kids, because that's what we all want. So
yeah,
parents have the right to know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be more like we can't say it enough. You can be proactive as a parent too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, and so we encourage that. And if there's any PTA meetings or anything in this area that want us to come and talk about this in person, we'd love to. At the drop of a hat, call us. We will be there.
I like it. Okay, well, what's the best way to get a hold of you guys? Either for maybe your mobile tinting, your flat surface tinting for your commercial buildings, or even your defense light products.
It'd be 208-406-0054 or divinefilmsolutions.com.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like it, guys. Well, thank you for both being on the show. I appreciate you both. We'll have you on again for sure. And those that are listening, this is an enlightening episode. You know, it's a somber one as well. But at the same time, we got to be aware of stuff and how to protect our loved ones, and you know, specifically our children and even our employees. So, okay, you guys have a wonderful day, and the rest of you for listening, keep reviewing, keep subscribing, sharing these episodes. You guys go out and conquer the rest of the week and make it happen.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.